What's up, man?
How you doing?
What are tags for your car?
They're in the... Probably at the house.
Huh?
They're probably at the house.
Probably?
Yeah.
Is this your car?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? And here's your driver's license and the registration.
My license is in my...
I'm sorry?
My license is in my bag.
Okay.
Can I grab it?
Yeah.
Is the RP advising of a gunshot wound?
They're advising that they're bleeding from the head.
What directions?
Keep going straight.
They did say that they were shot. Unknown about a GSW at this point.
Right here, right here.
The helmet is on. They're not responding at all, and they appear to have a pulse.
Soldier is never responding to close to Elm Street.
Isaiah!
Hey.
Isaiah! Can you hear us, brother?
Can you hear me?
Isaiah, can you hear
Can you
us?
hear us? Hey, listen to me. Can you hear me?
We didn't
No.
We heard the shot and I was walking right there in my house in a black truck with a blue car.
You guys have your camera?
Can
Can we get this off? I got nowhere. I don't have anything. No idea what happened. I don't know if I can't tell if he's breathing or not.
Get them back. Have them scoot back.
I can't tell if he's breathing. I got a lot coming out.
Hey, get my
There you
AED. Nagel. AED.
AED now.
Showcase by his foot.
Got it. Give me somebody to hold his head.
Yes.
Yes, he looks to the face.
Officers' body cams abruptly cut, as 32-year-old Deputy Isaiah Cordero would later be pronounced dead, sparking a massive manhunt for his killer. Investigators cross-referenced Officer Cordero's body cam footage with flock cameras in the area and positively identified the murderer as 44-year-old William McKay, who had ties to an outlaw biker gang based out of Southern California, as well as a violent criminal history.
Our CHP, he stabbed their dog about a year ago.
Officers circulated a description of McKay and his vehicle, and less than 2 hours later, an off-duty officer spotted him traveling south on the 15.
Now's the time. If we're gonna pit him, we gotta pit him.
Chris, are the spikes coming from the shoulder or center divider?
Shoulder, we can't get to the center. It's just the car pulling.
I'm gonna move up and cut this
Alright,
dude off.
police are approximately 55, still no traffic, number 1 and 2 lanes.
All units be advised there is going to be heavy traffic approaching you.
Bearcat coming up behind you guys.
Traffic approximately a half a mile, still eastbound, number 3 lanes, speed north approximately 55.
Keep an eye out for spikes.
I don't see anybody. I don't see any.
I think he said Golden West. We're up. That's past traffic.
That's going to be approaching heavy traffic, Speeds are approximately 60, number 3 lane.
Let that Bearcat up front.
Stop 6 at Golden Destination.
Over, watch your right or left. Officers are deployed.
You see sticks?
I don't see him.
Lane.
There's a guy, he's coming up to him.
What did he say? He's coming up to the spikes.
Okay, the vehicle just went over the spikes. Spikes are clear, vehicle still. Number 1 lane, speeds are approximately 25.
McGuire, get behind Shane. Guys behind us, make room for the Bearcat.
Okay, the vehicle has flat tires to the rear. The vehicle is approximately going 40 miles an hour, number 1 lane.
McGuire, fall back to number 2. K9 44, the front 2 are deflated, successful spikes.
Can you guys in the slow lane move left? Bearcat's trying to get through.
The whole 1 lane's going to have a lot of traffic.
Okay, vehicle is number 1 lane approaching.
Speeds are approximately 50 miles an hour. You guys, you are approaching heavy traffic to a stop.
Do you see a Bearcat?
I do not see a Bearcat.
Oh, here he comes. I think he's going to come up on the right.
So he's got a lane? Yeah, we got a lane. Yeah, he's got a
Vehicle
lane.
is in the carpool lane.
Approaching Riverville, coming up on heavy traffic, just emergency number 2.
He's coming up.
Okay, on the right. You're right on the right.
Vehicle just emerged from the number 2, number 3. Looks like it's going to be getting off. At Riverville.
Possibly exiting at Riverdale.
Hey, Bearcat's trying to get in front of here.
That's it.
Shane, let that Bearcat in front of you.
McGuire, move.
Watch the FedEx truck. Got it. They're all stopped on the left-hand side. Got it.
That's right on A.
Right.
We call it north on Riverville.
A bridge number 2 lane.
Northbound Riverdale over the bridge, number 2 lane.
He's on heavy traffic, getting back on the 60 west now.
There's too much congestion here, fellas, but when it's safe to do so, we're going to pit him with the Bearcat.
Freeway, real heavy traffic. He's going to be entering on the heavy traffic along the shoulder of the on-ramp.
This is going to clear up. Okay. Because they're stopping him. They're going to be holding him up here.
Okay, so along the shoulder, continuing 60, about 35 miles per hour, heavy traffic.
Bearcat 3, are you close?
Just past Valley Way, heavy traffic over here. Copy.
He's on the shoulder. Got it.
He's in the emergency lane on the side of like a retaining wall, paralleling the freeway along Canal, in between Canal and the 60 west now.
He's circling this area. This is where it happened.
Crossing over Pacific, approaching Valley.
Or if he's got friendlies here, or...
And still right shoulder of the freeway, 30 miles per hour, heavy traffic. Going to be going over Pacific here. Next exit is going to be Valley Way in about a half mile.
Can't make it back in the house. No, if he foot bails to a house, based on the totality of the circumstances, we gotta stop him from doing that.
2 lane now, in between a couple lanes, about 40 miles per hour, and traffic's opened up a little bit.
The trailing units start braking traffic in anticipation of a pit coming soon.
Stand by for a pit.
Approaching Pyrite and Granite Hill.
The Pyrite exit here. Looks like there is some smoking coming out of the rear tire. Just lost it. The driver's side rear tire.
Make sure our speed's correct before we try that pit. We may be going too fast now.
Here's my passenger front tire.
Front tire, got it. Another tire.
Okay, just smoke coming from that passenger front tire. He just lost that on the freeway. Passing the Pyrite exit, going towards Pedley exit.
So remember, this turns into a shitty. We're on the right-hand side. Watch your backdrop with the freeway on the left. Yeah. We've got this concrete barrier, so it's a good backdrop, but keep your shots low if needed.
Over the bridge at Pyrite, number 1 lane, about 50 miles per hour, and light traffic.
So he's got rear left, rear passenger tires good, and it looks like the front driver's side tires are about to go.
About 50 miles per hour, moving into the number 3 lane now, light traffic.
This dude is a danger to all these poor people up here ahead. He's armed.
Everyone, looks like you have light traffic all the way up to the 60.
In between the carpool and the number 1 lane, light traffic.
Starting to slow down a little bit. Yeah. 50.
It looks like number 2 lane, speeds are about 50 still, and light traffic.
Romero and Ennis, you guys try to stay on the right side of the Bearcat. Dave, myself, and Segura will stay on the left side.
About 60 miles per hour, and very light traffic. And they got the other side of the freeway shut down traffic.
Dude, how much longer can that truck go on? It's the tires. Just need one more tire. He's got the left side still.
Our main pursuit effort consists of about 7 units plus canines at Bearcat.
A few cars that entered the freeway at this on-ramp, but other than that, no traffic
westbound, number 2 lane, about 50 miles per hour.
If he falls into pit speed, we can pit him on this off-ramp if it's possible.
It's like entering the 15 off-ramp. I'll advise north or south here in a second.
He's going 15 south. All right. 15 south. It's
So
better
he's
than
going to take
15
it
north.
south now.
Gravity rig. Looks like his brake lights are on the off-ramp. He's on the bridge right now. Brake lights are on, slowing down. About 10 miles per hour right now.
Pitted him. Successful? No. He's still going.
Entering onto the I-15 south here, about 35 miles per hour. Got a pit, 10 pit. Looks like he's all the way down to the carpool lane now, about 30 miles per hour.
We're doing another pit. And he's going to spin over here, Brian, so heads
Where's the
up.
drop?
I got you. You can go right into us. I got you. You just watch it.
Be careful bunching up, fellas. Careful bunching up, because if he TCs,
We don't want a TC.
Spin right into us. I got you. We're going to have a little warning. I got good
Copy,
brakes.
passing under Cantu, approaching Lemonade.
his rims are disintegrated. Should tell me pretty soon.
Hey, Patrol Black and Whites, I need you guys to fall out.
And if we could block those exits off of 6th, then Lime and I just, it is headed that way. If he's down the rim, so we can block all that traffic entering the freeway. Carpool lane about 40 miles per hour now.
Wallace McFadden, we got about 70 black and whites in this thing.
I want 2 waves. I want a primary pursuit package backed up by the second wave of ES units. I've got about 7 or 8 with me, and that's plenty right now. And then you guys just support us by running interference behind us.
Only ES units authorized into pursuit. Only ES units authorized into pursuit.
You got
Black
it.
and whites drop out. Black and whites drop out. We have a secondary ES pursuit package behind the initial.
Also 10, all patrol units currently engaged in the pursuit, 1022. All patrol unit, black and whites, 1022.
Bearcat 3, are you close?
Crossing under the bridge on 6, approaching 2nd.
Just hit the center divider, smoke coming out of the tail end here. Secondary pursuit package, get ready to bail over that wall if he runs. We got a CHP stop via northbound traffic.
Where's he at? Where's he at? No, he's still moving.
A lot of night.
Just a pit maneuver. The truck is still going southbound very slow. Speeds through the center divider, moving all the way over to the right hand side. About 15 miles per hour.
Clear the air. He's brandishing a handgun. He's shooting.
Brandishing and shooting a handgun.
Get ready, buddy. Get ready.
Just TC right under the bridge.
Here we go.
Under the bridge.
Suspect is down. Cease fire.
Hey, hold your fire.
Back it up. Back it up.
Back. Hold right here.
Good. Back up. Back up. Watch your cover.
Kill your sirens.
Check those deputies over there.
Are any of our people hit? None of us got hit, right? Let's confirm that. And then I'm going to take an element to the back of that Bearcat.
Ball speed. We're above the bridge. Got a visual of the passenger side of the truck.
You're in charge of this team. If he goes that way, you're in charge. Got it.
I need you with your dog.
All the deputies on that side of you are code 4.
Okay, I want to take a look from the Bearcat in there so we can assess that. Here, over here.
Carl, were you a shooter? No. Okay. Take his. You engaged? Yes. Hey, Brett, you engaged? All right, get over here. Take over the point. All right, you two, go to that tower. My dog is going to push. He's trying to fire at the Bearcat. Did he shoot?
No.
Yeah, you with us.
We're good.
Back up.
I've got good odds on him. God has it. He is definitely injured. No movement. He's not clearly breathing.
William McKay was found deceased. According to the autopsy report, he had a total of 12 gunshot wounds, including 6 shots to his head, another which penetrated his lungs, and a fatal shot to the neck which severed his spinal cord. A total of 79 rounds and shells were fired by officers. A search of his vehicle yielded a plastic bag containing a white powdery substance, the firearm he used to murder Deputy Cordero, numerous credit cards he fraudulently used at various locations, and his membership card to a violent white supremacist outlaw biker gang. McKay's lengthy criminal record began in 1999 when he pleaded guilty to assault with a firearm and spent 3 years in prison. In 2005, he was an accomplice to a burglary where he choked a man and smothered a woman before stealing $3,700. He pleaded guilty to first-degree robbery and 2 counts of assault and sentenced to 13 years in prison. In 2021, McKay and an accomplice held a woman who had been house-sitting for McKay against her will. McKay alleged that she took part in burglarizing his home, but rather than alert police, he assaulted her and bound her and her mother with duct tape and threatened to kill them. The victim managed to escape and alert San Bernardino's sheriff's deputies, who pulled him over 2 days later in a stolen truck. He and his accomplice fled into the desert where they were surrounded, and his accomplice stabbed a police canine. McKay represented himself in court after his arrest and requested a bench trial, where a trial judge heard evidence and found him guilty of false imprisonment, evading a peace officer, making criminal threats likely to produce death, and receiving stolen property. According to court transcripts, the judge found him not guilty of kidnapping because the victim was not forcibly moved from where she was held. McKay's bail was reduced from $950,000 to $500,000 to remain in compliance with San Bernardino's bail schedule for a 3-strikes case. Needing to only pay 10% of the bail and allowed to use property like a house or pickup truck, McKay made bail by promising property valued at $50,000. He was arrested on a new drug charge prior to his sentencing, where he made bail again, this time for $50,000. When McKay failed to appear to his sentencing hearing, a warrant was issued and his bail was forfeited. His warrant was still active when Deputy Cordero pulled him over for not having a rear license plate. Investigators interviewed an associate of McKay who told them that he did not want to go back to prison. 1 week after his murder, Deputy Cordero was laid to rest and a memorial service was conducted in his honor.
Our son is gone. We hurt so much. My dearest Isaiah, you were taken too soon. And we do not know how we are supposed to carry on without you.
Deputy Isaiah Cordero, ID number 5662, end of watch December 29, 2022. Motor 38, Deputy Isaiah Cordero. Rest in peace, we have it from here.